Tom Ford, fashion icon, an absolute industry powerhouse, cutting his teeth in the dungeons of Gucci. Now look at the empire he's built. I actually don't care about any of that, because on this channel, we've given Tom Ford his fair share of crap over the years. First, when it comes to his, trash watches, and then more recently in regards to his, well, literal trash watches. Hey guys, I'm not trying to talk trash, no pun intended. I'm trying to do a good thing, made 100% ocean plastic, so that is good. What's not okay is charging $1,000 per product. Now, to add to this confusing, ironic tale of Tom Ford and his orological woes comes an article I actually recently found. It's from a few years back, 2019, but just the title is enough for you to roll your eyes so hard they might pop out of your skull. Again, this is in GQ, titled Tom Ford's New Rules for Wearing a Watch in 2019. I mean, again, when we consider 2019 and the watches Tom Ford was selling at the time, where does this guy get off giving anyone a list of rules when it comes to watches at all? I mean, what's rule number 1? Don't wear any watches I myself produce? Now, I want to get into this and a more recent endeavor when it comes to Tom Ford watches. But first, let's go ahead and tell the time. It is 4:39 p.m. Let's get down to business. Alright guys, we're gonna get into the list, but first, if you couldn't tell already, we are kind of the more lighthearted, humorous sociopaths of the orological sphere here on YouTube, so if you enjoy watches and you don't take anything too seriously, consider subscribing, and then what I want you to do is find that like button and wait till it takes a shower, swap out its shampoo for a nice bottle of Nair. It kind of seems like that's what someone did to me, actually. Okay, all jokes aside, Tom Ford's new rules for wearing a watch in 2019. Rule number 1, on matching a watch with your outfit, whatever you're doing, you have to have a full-length mirror, even for your watch. That's right, guys. So if you just take enjoyment from, looking at your watch box and choosing a watch and just admiring it on your wrist, you're doing it wrong. You need a full-length mirror, period. He goes on to say, you've got to stand there and see yourself completely head to toe and think, oh, this bracelet looks kind of sleazy with this outfit. It'd be better if I took this off. Or this red bracelet looks great because I'm wearing a new pair of trainers with a red stripe on the side. I'm sorry. If you take enjoyment from doing that kind of mix and match and making sure your whole ensemble is, in sync, then I guess that's fine. For myself and most of the other watch guys I know personally, we just like watches. So yeah, I personally don't agree with rule number 1. Rule number 2, on wearing 2 watches. He says, quote, why would you wear 2 watches at once? It's silly. Here's a theme, and I already went over this list before turning the camera on. He says silly a lot. He likes to talk down to people. Oh, that's silly. Oh, silly. Just so silly. He goes on to say, it's completely ridiculous. Why would someone do that unless they want to show off they have 2 IWCs? I would look at someone like that and think, oh, you poor thing. Well, according to the internet, and again, I don't know how accurate this is at all, Tom Ford has a net worth of over $500 million. So yeah, I guess everyone is just some poor thing to you, Tom. But for us normal people, sometimes we enjoy different things. And I'm very, very opinionated, and I'm very outspoken on the things I like and incredibly outspoken on the things I don't like. However, I've never looked at anyone in the watch industry, even people that wear Hublot, and thought, oh, you poor thing. I just think this guy's got money to throw away. So here's some advice for you, Tommy boy. Next time you see someone wearing 2 watches, don't feel bad for them, because they're probably doing something they enjoy, and you can just go hang out and stare at yourself longingly in your full-length mirror. Rule number 3 is about wearing a watch over your sleeve. He says, I would say wearing a watch on top of your shirt it's a big no-no. Again, I think you poor thing. Okay, Tom Ford has no idea what he's talking about here. There's a reason why someone would wear their watch over a sleeve. For instance, I do this when I go into the snow. A couple seasons ago, I was in Lake Tahoe. It was like 9 degrees, and we all had parkas on. We were filming outside, and yeah, I had my watch. It was a Boulder Expedition Mount Sinai on a NATO strap, and I wore it over the sleeve of a parka. There's a reason NATO straps exist, not only to protect your watch in case of a spring bar failure, but also because it gives you some added real estate on that strap so you can wear it over the sleeve of a jacket. You can protect yourself from the elements while still being able to tell the time. So Tom Ford has, again, no idea what he's talking about, and he not only dislikes that you would ever do anything like that, but he thinks less of you and he feels bad for you. Now, number 4 is about wearing a dress watch with a casual outfit, and he says, I think you can definitely wear a dress watch with something other than a tux. You can wear a t-shirt and jeans with a really beautiful dress watch, why not? Hey, I guess even a broken watch is right twice a day. I agree with you, Tom. Guys, there's really no rules in regards to what you can wear certain watches with. I wear my old Vacheron with like shorts and a t-shirt all the time. Again, because I just enjoy watches. Rule number 5 on gold versus platinum, he says, there was an old rule up until around the 20s that yellow gold was a daytime metal because it's what cigarette cases were made out of. At night you were supposed to switch to platinum or white gold, which is why most evening studs and cufflinks are made from white gold because they look better with diamonds and sapphires. This is interesting. He's kind of just blathering on about a history lesson, but let's see, I'm trying to find out where the point is in his statement. Okay, if you're wearing cufflinks and studs that are platinum, then you should wear a watch that is white gold or platinum and not a yellow gold watch. I don't think it really matters personally, but I think this is one of his least idiotic statements, so I'll let it pass. Number 6 is about wearing a dive watch with tailoring, meaning a suit or a more formal attire. A diving watch with a suit, sure. With a tuxedo, no. I'm kind of a traditionalist. Tell that to James Bond. Rule number 7, according to Tom Ford, has to do with wearing a watch with multiple complications. He says, I quote, I think all those complications are a little silly. Again, everything's just silly to Tom Ford. You're just going for the look. Like, wow, that watch does everything. You're just going for the look. Interesting that a fashion designer would make fun of someone going for the look. Literally, your whole brand, your whole life's work pertains to just going for the look. Tom, it's like a sports car, he says. Yes, they're beautiful, they look great, but when are you ever going to go 170 miles per hour in London or Los Angeles? You're not. Okay, what do you drive? A Geo Metro? You better, with a statement like that, I better see you driving a Geo Metro here in LA. I guarantee you he's not. He probably has a freaking Pagani. The watch. Rule number 8 is about matching your watch strap with your shoes. He says, I really think the leather in your strap has to match your belt and shoes. I've heard this before. I don't necessarily agree with it. Again, I think that you should just be able to wear whatever you want at the time. But I have heard this before, not just from Tom Ford, matching the leather on your belt to your watch strap and your shoes. Okay, again, this is fairly benign. I'll give it a pass. Rule number 9 on a watch strap to wear in the summer. He says, in the summer, I wear white watch straps a lot, even with a suit. That's disgusting. In the summer, you get kind of, hot, maybe a little bit sweaty. There's more oils on your skin, and white straps show any type of discoloration or dirt. That's gross. Tom Ford, that is disgusting. Rule number 10 is about when to wear a NATO strap. He says, I wouldn't wear a NATO strap in the evening. What does that even mean? At night, does he think the NATO strap is going to turn into a pumpkin or something? Rule number 11 is about wearing jewelry with your watch. He says, I can't stand all those cheap bracelets made out of beads threaded onto a string. Likewise, those armfuls of things you get on the beach in Brazil or one of your girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I actually agree with this. I remember there was a huge fad around 2017, like when I first started my channel on Instagram. All these various accounts wanted to post pictures of wrist shots with like all these bracelets stacked onto the guy's arm. Looked like he was wearing these huge gauntlets. That was like a big thing at the time. Thankfully, that trend has kind of gone by the wayside. So I actually agree with Tom Ford here. I don't like that look, but if you want to do that, that's fine. Also, you don't need me to say that's fine. Like, just do what you want. And don't listen, you don't have to listen to me, you don't have to listen to Tom Ford. All right, guys, bear with me, only a few more to go. Rule number 12 on the ultimate watch no-no. Oh, this should be good. I don't like a quartz tick. Our 001 tank watches are quartz, but the hands move smoothly. Isn't that so interesting? He doesn't like the quartz tick. But don't worry, the quartz that he has is acceptable though. It's garbage. Number 13, rules on talking about your watch, which is, I'm just excited to hear what he has to say about this because this is literally my job, talking about my watches. He says, it's not chic to show off about your watch at all. You should keep it under your cuff. Reach across the table to get something if you want someone to see it. If you have a friend who's really into watches and you just bought an amazing one that Steve McQueen wore in 1964, then sure, it's fine if you're really into it. But in general, to other people, I would let my watch speak for itself. Okay, so I kind of see what he's saying, but I don't know who he interacts with where people talking about their watch is like showing off their watch. Like, it's almost weirder to recommend that someone reach for something across the table. Just, oh, thanks. Sorry, I was looking for this. I'll just put it back over here. I'm just gonna put this. Oh, oops, drop. Thanks, just looking for this now. I'll just put it back over there. I'm wearing a G-Sock! Like, dude, you don't need to have a watch that Steve McQueen wore in the 1960s to be excited about your watch enough to talk to someone else about it. It's called sharing interests. It's called showing your passion to someone else. It's called, I don't know, communicating. You don't need to be embarrassed about your hobbies, and you also don't need to be weird and like, I'm just gonna reach for this. Did you notice it? Because if you didn't notice it, I'm going to keep reaching for stuff. Also, sorry, Tom Ford, with your $500 million net worth, you probably hang out with people that own Steve McQueen watches from 1964. Us laymen, us hoi polloi, us peasants, us plebeians, we just have, you know, the run-of-the-mill We dare not speak about that. And finally, thank God, rule number 14 on watch straps with multiple uses. Again, he's using this, oh my God, this is actually X-rated. I don't know why he had to take it here. He's trying to like sell you on his products. He's trying to plug his stuff. And then he says something absolutely vile that I can't even say on YouTube. We're gonna bleep it out. He says, our watch straps work as rings as well, by the way. They do. Just yank the strap out of your watch, thread it through, and pull. I don't need a ring, but I suppose some people do. Woven leather is gentle and doesn't rip out pubic hair. Plus, they get better looking with a bit of oil rubbed in. And then he finishes this statement by saying, I'm being vulgar. Yes, but they do actually work as rings. Now, let me speak to my editor here. A sidebar with my editor. Gato, you know that my mom watches this channel, and I don't even think that we can add that whole, like, rule. I don't know if we can, like, that is disgusting and it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'm just gonna do another ending. All right, guys. Well, I don't know if you saw the last rule, but we might just wrap it up on 13 rules. Now, let's talk about something that is going on right now with Tom Ford. I hate him even more after reading that, actually. Like, guys, I'm serious. All jokes aside, just that final statement from Tom Ford shows you how little he actually, like, we make the jokes on this channel. We don't take anything too seriously. We're the laughingstock sociopaths of the watch world, yada, yada, yada. But this guy really does not care at all about watches. If he's going to say something that vile about I thought, when I first read that list of watch straps with multiple uses, it's like, okay, a NATO strap, again, can protect your watch during a spring bar failure. It can also give you some more real estate if you were to wear a parka and you wanted to have your watch over the sleeve. You have some added length there. But he took it to a whole different area that really did not have to be. It's disgusting. It's actually gross. But okay, why are we talking about this in 2022? Well, it's because Tom Ford has released another set of watches, and these are also literal garbage watches. That's right. He was able to sell garbage with the first 001 tank ripoffs, and then he decided to actually sell garbage. And so then when he realized he got away with selling actual garbage twice, he's doing it again for a third time. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the first line of watches from Tom Ford, they were garbage just because they were just stupid, poorly made watches. The second iteration were watches literally made from garbage, and then this also made from garbage. That's right, this 43 millimeter Tom Ford Ocean Plastic Sport is now his, he's already done kind of these Cartier tank knockoffs. He's done these kind of bland black trash watches, and now he's trying to get in the sports watch diver space. So here you are getting an automatic. It's a Swiss automatic. It hasn't been specified. It's probably a Ronda. That's what I think. Probably use a cheap Ronda movement, which is fine. You're getting a 100 meter water resistance rating, a sapphire crystal, and a threaded crown. That sounds great. It looks terrible, and it has a circular date window at the 4 o'clock, and it's made of garbage, but the specs sound great. So where's my beef here? Well, it has an MSRP listing of $14.95. Can I repeat that? $14.95. I know what you're thinking. Hey, a garbage watch with some kind of vague specs, $14.95. Okay, I'd pay that. No. $1,495. He wants almost $1,500 for some garbage watch on it just because it has his name on it. This is absurd, because if you're gonna spend $1,500 on this Tom Ford, just save it and spend $300 more and get a legit Oris Aquis upcycle. Because with that Oris, you're getting a legit dive watch that's been tested. It is solid, you're getting your money's worth, and it also helps with the recycling of plastics in the ocean. And you know what? People want to complain about Rolex, how when you spend the money on a Rolex, you're only getting the brand name. That's not true. Does Rolex, charge a premium? Are they marking things up? Absolutely. That's how businesses make money. However, if you were to take all the branding away from a Rolex, you'd still be left with a really solid watch. Not the most special thing in the world, but a solid, reliable timepiece. Whereas with Tom Ford, you are literally only getting the name. That is it. And guess what? It is actual garbage. So let me speak to Tom Ford in a way that he will understand. Tom Ford, you have a bunch of garbage with your name on it and you want to charge people almost $1,500? Oh, you poor thing. I think that's just silly.